Hey there guys, welcome to today's video. Now today I want to talk a bit about why you should consider dropping out of college, university, whatever you want to call it, depends where you're from. In the UK it's university, over in the United States they usually say college. But anyway, college, university. In the United States, when you're in college, you have to consider, before you go, you need to consider, how much this is going to cost. Now the loans, I've seen, on videos on YouTube and things, people have huge amounts of student debt. I mean, we're talking about, over $100,000 or more, just literally huge amounts of debt. And it takes a long time to pay this off. And if you go to college and you don't get yourself, an incredible job, and let's be honest, I mean, not everyone does. It doesn't always work out. And, it's going to take you a long time. If you end up working at, I don't know, at Walmart or whatever, it's going to take you a long time to pay that debt off, It's going to take you a very long time. Now, I know in the UK, if you go to university, you only pay the debt off when you are in a job earning over a certain amount. And in the UK it's usually quite a lot lower fees than it is in the US. It depends how many years and what you're studying, of course, but usually the fees are lower. So it's not so much of a thing there. It won't be, you won't have to pay it off straight away. But it's still, it's a massive amount of debt to consider, whatever country you're in. It's something that's just hanging there that you've got to pay off, basically, and at some point you'll have to pay that off. So you should consider that in the time that you're at university, what other things you could have done to have made that money or more. So if you're doing a typical 3-year course, or you could have been working for 3 years, and even at minimum wage, that's quite a decent amount of money. How much money, if you saved all that, if you stay living at home and you save, 90% of that, you'd probably get yourself, I don't know, particularly in America the minimum wage is, but you'd be looking at around, 50,000, something like that. You'd probably be able to save, you'd be able to save upwards of 30,000 over those 3 years, So with that money you could invest, property, you could start a business. Property is something that I like to talk about a lot, and it is something that, instead of going to university, save yourself, work for a few years, save yourself up a good lump sum of cash. Even if you don't live with your parents, I mean, you can save plenty of money if you just live in a room, or perhaps in a shared house with someone else, or you share a small flat with one of your friends, whatever it may be. You can save a lot of money. Especially if you rent out rooms, so if you've got a 2-bed flat, you can rent out one of a room, one spare room or whatever. There's a lot of ways to live cheaply and save most of your wages for, a short amount of time, for 2 or 3 years. Now you can then keep that money as a deposit. You can, look towards getting a buy-to-let property. Rent out room for room. I talked about this in a previous video. You can, with a couple of months of work, and once you've got the deposit, and a little bit extra, maybe there's a little bit of work to do, buying a bit of furniture. You can get loads of furniture these days on 0% interest loans anyway, so that's worth doing. Over a year or 2 years, whatever it may be. Because you pay nothing, so it just breaks it down. It's allowing you to, increase your cash flow now, because you can buy that stuff now and start generating money, from renting the rooms. So that way you can, you can start earning, a couple of grand a month, just passive income. Leave it to a manager, and you will just get that month after month. And then, if the value's gone up on that, or you just want to work a bit more, save some more money, you can do it again. You can get another one. You just want to get the ball rolling there, get a property in the bag, and you'll just get that passive income coming in. I say renting rooms out in the UK is a great business. You're looking at, on average about £400, which is about, I don't know, $450 or $500 you know, a month per room, and you can get, you know, you'll get 4 or 5 rooms in a typical house when you separate, you know, the living and the dining areas and that kind of thing. So, you know, that's 2,000 a month income. And yes, there's the, you know, the bills, the utilities to pay, but it's a small amount of that, and the mortgage as well will be a very small amount. You'll be easily leaving there with 1,500 a month, which is not bad, you know, for a couple of months, you know, of work, to get it going and whatnot. You know, that's just passive income for life then, especially if you leave it with a manager. And yes, you will have to pay a fee to the managers to manage it, but they'll sort out getting people in and collecting the rent, and you've just got that income coming in there, and you don't have to do anything. You literally never have to go again. You know, the management company will deal with everything. So that's, you know, it's a good alternative really. Obviously, there's a lot more money to be made, you know, in business. If you start up your own business and it's successful, you can make a lot of money. You can make way more than just, you know, the rent from one house. But obviously that's a lot harder. There's a lot more risk with that. Whilst property, you know, real estate, it's a lot safer bet really. You know, it's a lot safer option. You know, there's, you know, millions of people do it. Millions of people own and rent out. You know, and you know, millions and millions and millions of people rent those properties. So once you get your first one done, that's the main thing. Then you've got, the bank can see, you know, that you've got a property, you've sorted it out, you pay every month, and they'll lend you more money. You can refinance the property, get more money, get another one, another option, Airbnb. There's a lot of money in Airbnb. Obviously not at the moment because of the illness in the world. But there's a lot of money renting out Airbnb. Probably, it depends on the area, of course. It needs to be somewhere that people visit in general. You know, for example, if you've got a house in London, it's going to be, you know, booked all the time, or in Florida, wherever it may be. If it's in one of those good areas, Airbnb is an option. There's a lot of money in that, especially in the time when people, you know, go on vacation or whatever. You can make a huge amount with, you know, holiday rentals and that kind of thing. So just consider, you know, instead of going and studying for 3 years and, you know, wasting you know, a lot of your student loan on drinking, parties, and, you know, really there's not that much studying going on. I know that at least in the UK, the image of students is that they just drink 6 days a week. I think they go to university once a week. So, you know, perhaps you could do something more productive with your time instead of studying a degree just for the sake of it because people say you should. It doesn't matter what other people think. You know, there's plenty of billionaires out there that, you know, didn't even finish school. So you shouldn't always listen to this university. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to university. Obviously, the world needs, you know, professionals, engineers, doctors. For plenty of people, it's great, you know, but it's not for everyone. And there are other options, you know. You can save a lot of money instead of studying. You can just work and save that money, and then invest it in property, in a business, in stocks, whatever. But you know, you have got a choice, and it's not just about going to university, then getting a job, and then working 10 hours a day for the rest of your life until you die. Well, hold on, you'll get a pension when you're 75, where you can, your golden years, you can do whatever you want, but you probably have diabetes, you won't be able to walk, and you'll be dead after a couple of years. So, you know, you know, the rat race isn't for everyone. There's plenty of other ways to make money. So just take it into account. That's just the point of this video. It's just to make you think that, you know, it's not your only option there. It is a good option, of course. It's in many ways it's a safe choice to study something. But at the same time, it's not necessary to study, you know, at 18 years old or 20 years old or whatever. You can do online courses, you know, Open University, that kind of thing. when you're old, whatever age you are, and you can do it in your own time. You can do it as quick as you want or as slow as you want. And yes, you have to pay, but the point is you can become a doctor whenever you want in your life, you know. It doesn't have to be now. It doesn't have to be because your parents saying get off to university, you're 18. No, there's other options there. So, you know, just take that into account, and that could help you out. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like and subscribe.